The reason we've got the girls here is because we have an urgent warning which has been issued with a deadly heat wave sweeping through Europe. Record temperatures of over 40 degrees.
The unprecedented heat hitting earlier than usual has already resulted in multiple deaths and numerous missing people, intensifying concerns for holidaymakers.
Yeah, so Laura Tobin, who, of course, the meteorologist from Good Morning Britain, has joined us alongside Dr Zoe to find out a little bit more. Laura, we've been moaning over here about where summer is. I know that you said on Lorraine earlier in the week it's next Monday.
Yes,
it all starts
for sure.
We're going to be all right.
Summer, book it in.
We're holding you to it.
Europe, it's a very different story because some of this heat that they've been having is extraordinary.
Well, the crazy thing is, it is just June. Some of these temperatures they've been experiencing in the mid-40s and normally what we'd experience later on in summer, like in July, maybe in August, but they're having them now. So right across Greece, record-breaking temperatures for June. We've seen parts of Turkey having wildfires as well. This is called fatalities amongst British tourists. Of course, the fatality of our lovely Dr Mike Mosley, which is absolutely devastating. But the big problem here is it's only set to get hotter with more of summer to come. I have lots of friends around the world, my weather friends. I'm friends with the lovely Panos, who is the Greek weather presenter. We've been messaging him on our World Weather WhatsApp group saying what's going on. And he said this is the earliest they've had a heat wave in Greece since 1890, since records began.
Wow.
They have had 10 days of temperatures over 40 degrees Celsius, higher than our body temperature. And that is why we have this huge problem. But it's not just there. Over in America, they have a huge heat wave building, and it's down to the jet stream. It always is. So they have a massive heat dome. So I've got a graphic for you.
Oh, OK.
So a big heat dome there, you can see, across western parts of America, all the way across to the northeast. 230 million Americans are set to have temperatures over 90 Fahrenheit. Then the jet stream dips across us. That's why we're so unsettled. That's why we've got the rain and the cool. We had the torrential rain in Germany yesterday for the football.
Yes.
But another heat dome you can see through eastern areas of the Med. So temperatures there are about 10 degrees above where they should be for the time of year, and it's set to get hotter. And all of these temperatures actually have shifted over to the Middle East, across to India, Pakistan, where they have 50 degrees over the next few days. They have no water in some places, no electricity in others. And the point is, it is June. It's going to get hotter in July, and it's all down to climate change, more emissions, higher temperatures. These are set to get more extreme.
It's the extreme weather events that we're getting that is so compelling,
and they're all more likely because of climate change. A report out last week, Mexico had a heat wave last month, and they know it was 35 times more likely because of climate change, and that's why it's just so worrying.
Wow. Well, shall we speak to somebody who's feeling the heat right about now? We can go live to Laura and Ross College, who are currently on their boat around the Ionian Islands.
To be honest, I have very little sympathy right now, Ross, because it looks absolutely glorious.
Idyllic.
But
Understandable.
But view aside, can you just explain a little bit? You've been travelling around on your boat for the last 2 years. You've got your two boys, they're 12 and 9, on the boat with you. What has this summer been like for the two of you so far, or for all four of you?
Well, we actually live, work, and we're YouTubers on the Greek islands, so we've been here for quite a while now. And for us, trying to live in this heat is a very different experience to perhaps visiting on holiday where you can, you know, jump in and out of a pool. Although we are surrounded by one at all times. But we have noticed that it's significantly hotter here now in June than it is normally at this time of year.
It's like July, isn't it?
Yeah, it's absolutely. So we're already having to adopt habits that we would usually use in the middle of the summer months in June. For example, it's 32 degrees here today. Usually it's between 20 and 29, but it's set to soar to 39 by this weekend.
Oh, gosh.
And how are Noah and Josh coping with it? Because it's very nice during the day, but at night when you can't sleep and it's hot, how are they dealing with it?
Well, they're currently just schooling online, so they're not here at the moment. They go to MVA, and they have kind of lessons sort of 1 hour at a time, and then they can take long breaks and jump in the sea. So
yeah, we're very fortunate in that respect.
They're good like that. Also, the weather is quite localised in Greece. So depending on what island you're on, it can be hotter or cooler. So Lefkada, for example, is about 40 degrees in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Where we are here is more like 30. So it's a bit more variable.
So I would say, just adding to that, for people who are planning to visit Greece, pick islands that are windier.
Breezier.
There are areas of Greece that are much windier than other areas, and they will be the great places to go because you get some reprieve from it. But most importantly, just be careful. Like the sun is a silent.
It
Can't think
packs
of
a
the word
punch.
for it. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You need to be very aware of the heat.
OK, well, thank you,
Amazing.
Laura. Thank you, Ross.
Sailing Holly Blue is your YouTube channel, so if you want to go and
Yeah, thank
see
you.
the exploits, I can't imagine
Thanks, guys.
despite the heat, are you guys ever going to come back?
Not likely.
No, why not? No, we do absolutely love our life. We're very fortunate and grateful for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're very happy. So
Yeah.
Good.
Lovely that you can be that agile. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's really interesting
Thanks for having us.
the point that Laura's making there. You've got to be aware that the sun can be a silent killer, I think is what she was going to try and say.
Yes, absolutely. And I think one of the things to be aware of is that when temperatures get to about 40 degrees in the evenings or when the sun's setting, it might drop to 30 and it's like this false sense of security that then you think it's cooler, go out, but that's still very, very hot. And obviously, you know, the main risk of that is something like heat stroke. So heat stroke is a medical emergency. It kills people, especially people who are older and babies and younger children. And the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke. So heat exhaustion is a mild to moderate heat-related illness that usually doesn't require a doctor. You know, you need to cool somebody down, take them out of the sun, give them lots of fluids. But heat stroke is when your body's lost the ability to regulate your own temperature. And temperature goes usually above 40 degrees and it's life-threatening and requires urgent medical attention.
So at that point, you have to get to a hospital or...
You need, yes, it's 999 or emergency services. And like Laura was saying, when the temperature outside is above 40 degrees, if you don't take measures to keep cool, then your body temperature can get to that 40-degree threshold when heat stroke is likely.
So what are those measures we need to be taking for us and also for our kids who are incredibly vulnerable?
Also the symptoms that you might notice, because I've suffered from a bit of heat exhaustion. I was in Haiti years ago, just after the earthquake, and I know that I suffered from heat exhaustion. I would probably call it heat stroke till you've said that now. But what are these symptoms? It crept up on me.
Yeah, so I think, I mean, the measures to protect yourself if you're away is firstly keeping out of the sun and out of the heat in the hottest hours, so between 11 a.m. 3 p.m. Think about what you're putting into your body. You need to increase your fluid intake, hydration, hydrating fruit and veg, you know, food as well as water intake. But then thinking about if you do need to go outside, stay in the shade, wear a hat, you know, put a scarf around yourself, wear light colours. Light colours, white reflects the sun, whereas dark colours absorb the sun. So the symptoms of heat exhaustion are... You feel generally unwell. You can feel dizzy, maybe, but you're alert and you're awake. You're not confused. I've got a list of symptoms here. You might feel headache, you might feel sickly, nauseous, sweating, excessive sweating and clammy, cool skin and increased heartbeat. Generally feeling unwell in extreme heat is heat exhaustion. Heat stroke is different, so that tends to be when the temperature's gone above that 40-degree threshold, your body's no longer able to regulate. So rather than sweating like you'd expect, people tend to have very hot but dry skin because your body's stopped being able to sweat to regulate temperature. People may be confused, so an altered level of consciousness, so confused, either loss of consciousness or very, very drowsy or having seizures, you know, anything like that, medical emergency. And with young children and babies, just think about if they're more drowsy than they should be, if they're not having wet nappies, if they've got no tears when they're crying, all signs of dehydration.
Prevention better than cure is what we're saying.
Always.
Thank you, Zoe. Laura, good to see you as ever.
Very
Thank
nice
you for
to
your
see
graphics too.
Now, thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.